And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Cloister of the Dice. I am your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra. I'm not bringing my staff with me for this one because I think it'd get in the way of the screen. With me, of course, I have three of my good brothers and sisters. We have Sudden Abyss, Skay, and Deja Vu. No, I am still not returning to Monkey.
Keep thinking you won't. It's gonna happen.
I'll consider if it means I can hit you with that stick.
We'll talk about it.
But we are finally back after a few delays and an interlude to deal with you guys jumping from first level to fourth, as well as some potential newcomers that may be showing in, so the cast will be expanding a bit. But we are back proper. So since it's been about 3 or so weeks since we last came in, I think it's as good a time as any to do a bit of catch up. So you all were of course contracted to help find ways to deal with the Dracula problem that has been terrorizing the northern part of the continent. And after meeting up with your contacts, namely Mina Harker and Abraham Van Helsing, you ended up having to deal with the vampire problem in the small town of Broken Shield. And while you ended up successfully dealing with that problem, and getting rid of the barrier that was preventing the effects of sunlight from reaching the town, that did unfortunately get the attention of Dracula, who found out where Abraham was and had him executed, bringing his personal guard along with him as a show of force. But in the interim, without Dracula, there was the not without Dracula, without Abraham, there was the issue of, okay, where do we go from here when it comes to this particular job? And after going through Abraham's things and finding his diary, you found a note, a correspondence with someone named Nathaniel Hawthorne, who supposedly is up in Nord. And after the dust settles from Dracula's appearance in Broken Shield, things are starting to return to some measure of normalcy. But it's clear that your time in the town is going to be limited. Because where we last left off, you all had decided that this was as good of a time as any to try and head north to find this Hawthorne person, thinking that they might have leads on what you were all looking for. In some cases, trying to figure out how to use certain items, and in other cases, having your own reasons for pursuing this particular task. But before you head out of Broken Shield, is there any last business that you feel you'd want to take care of in this town? Any supply gathering, anything like that?
Me personally, no. I don't know if anyone else does.
I might get something, maybe food for the trip.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same. Just try getting some vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Obviously, tracking the individual dried foods and vegetables would be would be a bit redundant. So for the sake of this, let's say you deduct 30 silver.
Yep.
Because some prefer to track the individual rations and the like. That's not my thing. Like, that kind of stuff should only matter when it actually matters.
Yeah, I feel like survival campaigns are the only time that should really matter.
Mm-hmm. And
Makes sense.
I'm not running Torchbearer, so I'm not really doing a survival campaign, at least this time around. But after heading out from Broken Shield, with the main thing that you have being Abraham Van Helsing's diary, you do end up coming across a small shrine along the path. I need one of you to roll a d4. Okay, 2.
Right in the middle.
So you found a tree that, by all accounts, should be dead. The tree's clearly been struck by lightning and has rotted out, yet one of its branches is actively budding with flowers.
Is there a way we could try, I guess, investigating it better to get more information on like why it's that part specifically is still alive?
Yeah, I would especially like check that out.
Yeah, if you've got a skill you think would be applicable, you can use that. Otherwise, use intellect.
I was thinking maybe foraging might have some sort of use with it being a tree, but I don't know.
Go ahead.
Well,
That works too, nature.
So foraging didn't do much, but Aurelia, you do learn that the reason that this tree has some life within it in this manner is because has a little bit of leaning towards a nature god. You don't know what god it is, but that influence does allow for this place to be a kind of natural shrine.
makes sense.
It's nowhere near as powerful as a full shrine, but it has its benefits. Oh.
She is gonna take note of that and also mention it to the rest of the group. Is there any way to tell like who might have left the shrine here, or if it just came up by itself?
It's difficult to say.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Between the group of you, who do you see as leading the leading the party as you are traveling?
Aurelia,
Wait, what?
you're the captain now.
Oh no. I'm just the de facto captain. Is that what just happened?
I'm just a farmer, a humble man.
Oh no.
Oops.
Yeah, my
no.
vote's for Aurelia. It's where we have a stalemate and everyone just votes for one other person.
I'm gonna vote for
Basically.
Wu.
Alright.
I'm gonna say that Micah votes for Scarlet.
Wow.
It's just the Spider-Man meme, and everyone's pointing at each other, but no one's being
Basically.
pointed at twice. Just a circle.
What a pretty circle.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, that's odd. Okay, I'll have to deal with that. I was like, why is it not showing the token? Because it decided to forget that there was one.
But I was gonna ask, can Aurelia possibly look around and see if there's anyone nearby that would have left the shrine there?
Yeah,
Or
that,
know anything about the land, perhaps?
yeah, that is going to be an awareness roll.
Alrighty, let's go. I'm good at these, hopefully.
I want in on that as well.
I think I'm
Good
seeing
enough.
a pattern today.
Well, you just wait. I'll get them big 20s soon.
See, now that you've said that, you're not going to get it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look, at least he's not being like Valder and being like, "Oh, I'll get it," and then rolls 3 1s in a row.
Oh no.
That has actually happened with him.
See, this is why you don't say it. Because when you say it, that is what happens. But give me one moment. But it doesn't. The odd thing about it is it doesn't look like anybody left the shrine here.
Okay, so it just kind of built itself there.
Either built itself there, or on some level it was always there.
Does it look like there's anything like any sort of trinkets or anything of significance at the shrine? Is it just the shrine itself?
It is just the shrine. But it does appear that the shrine is almost communicating that it will what offerings it will take. Specifically, it will take holy water rations or 20 silver for protection against fear.
I'll give it some of the rations I've got.
When you do so, it does. It does feel like some of the some of the lingering dread in the area seems to dissipate, and the place feels a bit calmer, though you can't put a finger on how.
I see. But it's just gonna turn to the group and kind of give a thumbs up then. Just be like, it seems okay.
But this would be the ideal spot. This would be an ideal spot to do a bit of crafting, especially for that stake thrower.
Can I, if that's the case, can I use what we got? Carpentry to make to help with it in some way?
You're out in the woods, so because you're only about a day's travel from Broken Shield at this point. You're right about here. So
yeah.
You would have to roll foraging first, because you're not going to be able to just find a carpentry shop out here.
I can do that.
I can as well. I consult with the group first though. See, like, is that something you want to do, or
we can go do it together?
Okay.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Those low rolls are coming.
Oof.
So you do manage to find a decent tree that isn't too big. Now it's just a matter of chopping the thing down, and for that, Herbert, give me a strength roll.
I was about to say I'm good at those, but I don't want to jinx it.
So you do manage to chop the tree to get and because of a lot of the damage due to that barrier and just the state of things in this part of Ansera, you're not able to make as many as you had hoped, but you are able to use that tree to carve enough wooden stakes. So Aurelia, add 20 stakes as far as the ammo for the stake thrower. And
Where does that go? Where is the ammo listed at on the sheet? Is it up under the same area as currency, or?
see, I believe so. Yep. I had done it that way because adding in each individual entry on that list would start to get ridiculous.
Yeah, all good. I got it.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. Oh, I did something. What did I do? Yeah, there we go.
But
Yeah, I fixed it.
so let me have to do. Actually, I'll be able to improvise that in the short term. Okay. So as you end up getting a bit of rest for that day. But the closest place that you could really head to is Dirk, which is can be right up here.
Are we sure we want to go that way? Quite close to Dracula's castle.
Well, as far as the it's the note said that he was in Nord, which is much further north of the castle. So it's
So we're okay. We're okay.
mhm. But I want you to make I want each of you to make either endurance or, if you have it, forced march.
All the low rolls.
And that one just had to tease you by giving you by looking like it was going to give you a 19 for a second.
I know, right?
Anyone else think they can get better than a 7?
Sorry, I had to take my headset off for a second. What happened?
Need you to make either endurance or forced march.
We all need to do it?
You can. See if you can get higher.
Nope.
There we go.
I'll take it. So you do end up heading a bit further and ending at this particular crossroads. Oh. As you do, I'd like one of you to roll a d6. 2. And roll again.
Oh,
As you travel, a massive thunderstorm starts sweeping across the plains and hills of the area. As rain starts really coming down, you can hear the distant echo of thunder. This is going to be a really, really bad thunderstorm coming.
mm. That's no good. Seems like we'll have to take shelter.
But if you want to try and look for a spot nearby that you could do a makeshift shelter with, that's going to be an awareness roll.
Mm-hmm.
And after a bit of digging, after a bit of frantic searching as the rain starts coming down, you do find what looks like a rundown hut. It's small. It is just slightly larger than a tent, but it does have a roof.
Mm. You should stay here till the storm passes.
You can't
agree.
be too picky.
And it's fortunate that you did, because if you didn't roll well enough, you might have had some of your rations spoiled.
Oh no.
But as the storm comes in, you start hearing the thunder get very loud. Now I'm not gonna have any of you roll like composure or something to see if you freak out over a thunderstorm. But through the clouds, you could swear you saw the outline of a person just walking through the clouds. You only saw it for a couple seconds because of the clash of lightning. It's like you could have swore you saw the shadow of something humanoid.
Was that everyone or?
Yeah.
Well, that was certainly odd and disconcerting.
I make a note of it. If we have time, we can research.
Let's see that. So it's been about 2 days since you left Broken Shield. And if you'll give me one moment. model's gonna break for a second, but oh well. Huh. Okay, where did I put that thing? I have way too many cabinets. But on the plus side, it means always having backup writing for jotting notes. Of course, if somebody looked at all of my notes, they think they were written by a crazy person. Can't argue with that.
Wait, they weren't?
There are degrees to this sort of thing, so just keeping a tally of the amount of days on my end. So, at the start of the third day, as you continue heading northward, I need another endurance check.
From all of us, yeah?
From any of you. I think I know which one you guys are taking.
Yeah, I did mine for the lulz. I wasn't expecting anything good.
At least you didn't roll.
I wasn't either.
That's fair.
Alright.
It's true.
I thought it was getting a little bit loud. But I'd like you to roll a d6 again. Right. Fortunately, as you traveled this day, nothing happened.
Yay! Luck is on our side.
As you and now, as you're heading out, you had an easy time finding quick supplies because for a while you're still in the region of Forston. Forston is rugged hills and narrow valleys, and covered in pine forests.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll see small streams, and you can easily find edible berries, roots, and other plant matter, even if you're inexperienced. But as you're getting out of Forston and closer to Dirk, the landscape starts growing darker. You see these huge industrial devices out in the distance that spew vapor and smoke into the atmosphere, creating a constant cloud cover.
Mm.
The craggy valleys become rolling hills and eventually flatter plains. The constant pine forests of Forston become more like copses of trees and clusters of vegetation. Because of the lack of sunlight, most of the grass and trees around here are wilted and warped. The natural animals you do find are very gaunt, mostly due to a lack of food. but as you get further in, uh, heading into Dirk, you come across a traveler. Uh, especially since it looks like as you head to another crossroads, there's either taking the northwestern route, which is a bit closer to Dracula's castle, which even from where you are, which is about here, you can still see the castle coming up from the distance. And because the castle is is larger than a mountain. And certainly eclipses any settlement proper in size. But when looking at the map, the closest settlement within Dirk that is of any note is Whitebreak, which fortunately is where you are headed as well. But a short distance behind you on the road, you see an expensive-looking carriage drawn by a team of 4 horses. A heavily armored individual is holding the reins, and through the open front flap of the carriage, you can see that a noblewoman is riding inside. The carriage gradually gains on you, and it draws up to a halt when it reaches you. You do hear the noblewoman say from within the carriage, "Greetings, fellow travelers. What is your destination?" The noblewoman herself is a human with pale skin and elaborately curled hair. She's wearing fluffy silken finery and a red velvet hat with numerous plumed feathers protruding from it.
Am I able to like see if it feels off at all in any way? Like, do they seem suspicious at all, or just friendly?
I'm gonna have you roll for that. And
I got perceiving, if that helps.
Roll perceiving.
Big 20. So that's me done now. That's one my 20's gone.
So you note that they feel neutral. Something does feel off, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is.
We're heading to Whitebreak, aren't we? I guess Herbert would just be like, "Hello there, travelers. We're heading to Whitebreak. What about yourself?"
Ice Point. I'm heading back to the capital after a brief foray into Kess.
What makes you travel so far?
Oh. Diplomacy. I was coming from a diplomatic mission in Kess and am heading back.
Interesting. I assume it went well for you.
It was adequate.
What do we already know about Kess, or me specifically, since I would probably have a more in-depth knowledge of the surrounding areas?
So, obviously, Kess is down here to the south.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the mountains, where Forstrin is.
Correct.
And as far as what you would know, let me... Kess is a nation that has seen better days. On the eastern side of the Great Chasm. While it has cold winters, most of the weather is pleasant, but it is a nation that has suffered the after effects of multiple revolutions over the years.
And what do we know about the political standings of Kess and Ice Point?
Kess is under the control of Palorva, who has basically seized full control over the region,
Mm-hmm.
and anyone and has assumed and has basically has become its tyrant. And when I say tyrant, I mean tyrant in the classical Greek sense of somebody with absolute authority.
Yeah.
And the relationship with other nations is it depends on whether or not Palorva likes somebody or not. If she doesn't like you, then there's no relationship. If she likes you, then there is some relationship.
Mm. I would like to roll for intuiting on this lady. What
Go
does
ahead.
my intuition tell me about her? 29.
It does tell you her identity. While you haven't met, you do know that this is Annette, who Annette Veilthorn, who is Veilthorn. The Veilthorns are one of the more recognizable noble families within Dirk.
Mm.
The other ones being the Helsings, the Harkers, and the Hawthorns. The 3 H's, as they're often called.
Do we know if they all get along? Because we know the Hawkins. Wow. We know the ones that do get along, but does that noble family get along with them?
They've had an attitude of keeping their head down ever since Dracula came into power.
So they're ostriches. Got it.
Like they're no fan of Dracula, but it's either work with him or get wiped out.
No. If I don't see it, it's not happening.
Something like that.
But yeah, no, I get it. The survival mindset of I have to work with them or it's die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm gonna kind of nudge my farmer buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so did we just run into them or did they stop us? I can't remember.
The former.
Okay. And where exactly are we headed?
You guys are headed to Whitebreak.
And that's along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're somewhere like around Dirk, right? Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you guys are in the territory of Dirk. Dirk is the country.
Yep. She's gonna approach and hello, my name is Aurelia. We're just traveling north as well. If you would like, we can accompany you on your travels and possibly help aid in any sort of protection or needs that y'all have. If not, then we'll gladly be on our way.
She looks right at you in a way that feels like she's looking through you. And she smiles for a moment and says, I'd love some additional company. As you all can come in. You all may accompany me. At least until we head to the next settlement. At that point, I have to go my own route.
It's perfectly understandable.
Though she does look at her. As soon as Herbert is about to step inside the carriage, she looks right at him and says nothing, but tilts her head towards where the knight is sitting.
I guess I'm up the front then. He's just gonna kind of go, very well, and then go and, I guess, sit near the knight.
As you sit next to the knight says nothing. He doesn't seem to even notice you. He either doesn't notice you or doesn't care. Though he is a big boy.
He's just gonna be like, talkative fella, aren't you?
The knight says nothing. And
I'll make it talk eventually. I'll find a way.
Oh my god, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
in the meantime, Annette looks at the others, specifically Scarlet and Aurelian. Says, "You travel in. I see we all travel in curious company. A farmer, you, and a priestess. Interesting.
Who's she saying this to?
Hmm?
Who's she saying this to? Like, who's it directed at?
She's saying this to you as she's observing the
Okay.
party that you're in.
Sorry, Baldur came to pick up lunch, so I had to mute for a second and take care of him, so that's why I kind of... Sorry about that.
No worries. I held back because I could have made a joke about mystery meat, but that's a little thing called class.
I gave him the other half of my sandwich because it was really filling and I was full, and yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Oh.
Still better than haggis.
Oh,
Hey.
my heart.
Hey, don't disrespect haggis.
The baby, Luna. She found balloons last night, and I didn't know why she was looking for balloons and stuff, and she just told me she's trying to get ready for Daddy's birthday.
But Annette looks at Aurelia, and she does notice that even though you try to downplay it with your appearance, she can spot a highborn very easily.
Mommy.
I wouldn't necessarily say she's trying to downplay it. She's just...
Mommy.
She's in a tough situation.
Mommy.
What?
But she looks towards Scarlet and goes, "You're quite a ways from any church or temple. Are you on a pilgrimage?"
I suppose you can say that. I've been given certain orders and to travel further than I'd like to be. But hopefully I can get to where I am needed, you know?
Yes, we all have a place where we are needed. And it is curious that people of your station would have such a odd looking farmhand traveling with you. But I suppose he has his uses.
What's wrong with my farmhand? He's the best in the land.
I mean, no offense. It is simply unusual.
If I want to rebuild, I want it to be done by the best, right?
Rebuild.
He knows what he's doing.
Rebuilding is a long and arduous process. She says, but as you are traveling, I want one of you to roll a d6.
She's not very keen on that little jab towards her farmhand. Even if it's not her farmhand.
All right,
I'm just trying to get vegetables, man.
A 2. So that's...
Yeah, I need someone else to roll. I keep getting all these 2s.
Anyone volunteering to roll?
I can roll the next one if you want.
Go ahead.
It's like we either get 2 or 6 or so in between.
I'll go for halfway.
All right. Roll another d6.
Okay.
We're slowly getting there.
So, as you further travel, and this is now 5 days, you come across a farmstead that's been clearly attacked. There's still smoke trails from certain portions of the house and the barn. though they do not appear to be any active fires.
So we could probably tell that this happened quite some time ago.
Hmm. Quite some time ago, but still recent. You'd say less. You'd say
Yeah.
it happened less than a week, maybe a few days.
Definitely
How
not
would the-
within the past 2 days, but definitely 3+ to 7.
How are the vegetables? Have they survived?
Uh, she she stops the carriage to to look over the damage. It is unfortunate in these trying times. If you do want to try and head out to see if you can salvage, that is going to be scavenging or luck.
I do want to. I don't think I've got scavenging, so I guess it's luck. Anything for the vegetables.
Okay, so I need to make a few rolls myself on this. So
Okay.
you find a couple arrows, about 8 days worth of rations that are still good. The rest were completely the rest of the food stocks were completely destroyed. And 15 silver.
I'll take silver, and then I guess how many days was it? 8 days worth of rations. I'll just split that between us, I guess, and then I'll just kind of wave the arrows, and be like, I found these, but they're not really much use to me. So, do either of you want them?
Aurelia's gonna shake her head if she don't use arrows.
Though, as you're discussing things, you hear what sounds like the shriek of something inhuman as you're suddenly attacked. And as what looks like damn it, I hate it when this happens. I didn't want something that big.
I think you can resize the token. There should be like a bit on the corner you can drag.
Yeah, I think you have to control and then corner.
I was hoping I had a way to. I think it's because I'm so zoomed in that it was that big. But you end up finding what looks like a lesser demon. And because of the fact that it has gotten, for lack of a better term, the drop on you. Oh. And I'm not setting up a whole battle map for just one thing like this. But It is going to try and try and directly attack. Herbert.
I'm ready.
Oh, and I'm having to reload because the page started being weird.
So
I tried to zoom in and then everything disappeared.
does a 15 beat your AR?
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be doing 7 damage.
Okay.
But what it looks like is what would happen if a demon got forcibly stuffed in the body of a corpse.
Can I attack back?
Yes, you can.
It's right next to me, isn't it? Oh, can I do my counter attack actually? I forgot about
Yes,
that.
you can. Yes, you can.
So I spend 1 reactive AP to make it. Oh, not natural weapon attack. It says natural weapon attack for the counter strike. Wouldn't that have to be my bite? So it'd have to be in where or form, wouldn't I?
With counterattack, not necessarily.
Okay.
Um,
In that case, I'll just do my Lucerne hammer. It says as well, if the creature hits you, you have +1 TA and deal +2 damage.
TA is tactical advantage. When you do the attack, there'll be a prompt if there's tactical advantage or disadvantage. Alright, a 20 versus its AR. Oh yeah, that definitely hits, so roll damage.
And then it'll be +2 on that as well. So it was 16.
Mm-hmm. So you got it down to half. No,
Then it
anyone
would
else
be-
want to take a shot?
Yeah.
I would like to attack it with a stake thrower if possible.
Go right ahead.
Also, how many stakes did this thing originally have before I got it?
20.
So I should be at 38 now. Okay.
So, you should have a stake thrower entry in the
Oh shit.
in
I didn't mean to do that.
combat tab.
I was trying to click it to find the stuff and I messed up. I don't think I was supposed to hit any of that. The TA and TD ones.
No, you don't have either for this, but
Okay.
you do still hit. So, roll damage.
Did it go through? Okay, that's weird. The button didn't work. Okay. I guess there was a delay.
Oh.
Sorry, it lagged on the first one.
Yeah, as it tries to lunge at you, you fire one stake at it, which goes right through the head, and now it has no head.
Nice.
Oh.
She just kind of grimaces and looks away like, ooh, that's not pleasant.
But in the aftermath, you do head back to the carriage, saying, and Annette looks at you, says, "It looks like you all saw something you did not wish to." What exactly happened? What exactly happened in that farmhouse?
It was terrible. Rotten vegetables everywhere.
Yep. He's very passionate about his vegetables.
I can see that. But you look like you saw something you. What happened in there? You look a bit shaken up.
Just the normal things that come with coming into this territory, you know, like demons. Also, I'm not used to being ahead of the situation either, so much rather glad I have one.
I see. So as you head further in, say this time you are close enough where you can see White Break off in the distance. But roll me another d6. All right, a 5. So roll d6 again.
Okay.
I was hoping for a 6.
So as you continue onwards, looking out from inside the carriage, you see ash raining from the sky due to the volcanic chasms that have opened up in Dirk.
Oh. That's fun.
So you had to deal with thunderstorms. Now you have to deal with hot storms. Annette seems nonplussed about the falling ash, simply stating, "There have been a lot of volcanic activities since the castle was formed. But after about a day's travel, you eventually arrive at Whitebreak, a cosmopolitan city with a lot of colorful characters and designs. While it is not the capital, it is the largest city in Dirk and is considered the most important city. And because of its location, you have the frigid winds coming in from the coast, as well as the place being blanketed in dark fog.
Mm.
But after you get out and Annette takes her leave, one of the you do see quite a few folk you would expect to see within a very mercantile coastal city. That is to say, a lot of merchants, sailors, and the people that merchants and sailors tend to attract. But one of the things you do notice is that, without exception, everybody's wearing some kind of face covering.
Yeah, I was about to say, Aurelia would have already took out her handkerchief and kind of made a mask out of it. Because breathing in ash and smoke ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Herbert would do the same then.
Mm-hmm. But
Do I have
Well-
anything with my armor?
yeah, and you can make a makeshift thing out of like a traveler's cloak.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to do the same like with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do have that plated armor now.
And worst case scenario, you can always put the helmet for that plate armor on.
That's true.
I was gonna say, Aurelia also has multiple sets of clothes, and I would imagine that includes multiple sets of handkerchiefs as part of those clothes.
Yep.
So she's got plenty to go around. So she would just give you one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it and say thank you. And I'll just fix it so I don't get that ash in the way.
Mm-hmm. As you do, you come. Scarlet, you do notice something, though it's something that only you would be able to tell. Several of the people that you pass by are not human. Or not human.
Oh.
They are vampires. Now, as far as who specifically is one, you can't tell, but you know that there's ones in the area.
Oh. I'll try to nonchalantly wrap my arms around both Herbert and Aurelia so I can squeeze in one word or a couple words that they're not in air. I'm like, I just tell them to where if no one can like hear me, There's vampires in the area. I can't figure who, but some of the people around aren't human.
Question. Does Herbert have any garlic?
I mean, he does, but would you really want to be causing that kind of scene?
I was just gonna say he'll probably just like pull a little clove or two out and just like hand it over to the others and just be like, just in case.
Oh. Which, aside from that feeling, it's still a bigger town. This is multiple sizes bigger than Broken Shield was. Broken Shield was a hamlet kind of town. This is a full-on city.
Interesting. I'm like, what are like the vibes to this, like compared to Broken Shield?
You do get the feeling that with this place, it is all about trade.
Okay.
This is far more of a trading hub, whereas Broken Shield was far more of a farming-based town. That was the
Right.
main way that they made their bank was through farmland. Through
Sure. I got gang gyro.
I'm sure we can probably be able to find some things to sell for a coin then.
Oh.
Can
Purchase.
Herbert do a bit of the old networking? Try and get a bit of gossip and stuff in while doing it.
Yep. And fortunately, there's no shortage of there's no shortage of taverns.
Yeah, Aurelia wants to go to the tavern just so she could sit and listen to people and kind of eavesdrop in on conversations.
Yeah, although when it comes to going to taverns, the bigger question is which tavern. And but since you don't know a specific one to go into, that is going to be a bit of a random thing. So first off, who's going first as far as exploring a tavern?
I'd like to go with Herbert, so wherever Herbert's going, I'm going.
All right, so you both are going together.
So my suggestion is to do a little bit of networking to get a bit of gossip, and maybe during that ask what the best tavern is to go to. And then once we've got that information, he'll probably let the other two decide what they want to do, but focus on like networking a bit more to try and get a bit more gossip before he heads there.
Yep.
Okay.
So, did you have a skill you planned on rolling for that? Otherwise,
I was just going to use network, my profession thing.
All right.
But I can do what's my things? I've got gossiping.
Roll that.
I thought that was going to be a 3 then.
Do we
Well,
both need to roll for it since we're both doing it, or?
I just needed one of you.
Okay.
So, on the plus side, you are able to get people to talk about ideal taverns easily. On the downside, nobody can agree on which one to go with. Some people say one tavern, others people say another. Sometimes two people in the same conversation will say different ones, and then they start arguing.
Mommy. I want a sandwich.
How many taverns have they mentioned?
A lot.
Which would be the closest tavern then that they've mentioned?
There is one nearby, but it is a case of this is a large city with a lot of taverns, and there isn't one that is the tavern, just because Whitebreak is too big for that.
I guess we'd just pick the closest one then.
Yep.
For now.
Mm-hmm. So roll a d6. All right. So 3. You come across one that looks like it was built off of an old temple. An old temple in a part of the town that has been converted into a brothel. Any of the religious iconography has been removed, and the stained glass window at the front of the place has been replaced with red glass. Portions of the wall inside have handheld fans engraved into the architecture, and they can't be removed. Holy Water is primarily a brothel, but it has a bar and some tables for serving food. But you do hear that the place is known for quote-unquote unholy concoctions that enhance emotion.
Drugs. Disgusting. Herbert is going to turn to the other two and give him a little nod and say he's going to go back to finish up doing a bit more networking and try and do a bit more. He's going to try some eavesdropping just to like hear it, try and overhear some rumors while he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And also through the networking, hopefully get a bit more silver.
Yep.
And then head back to the tavern.
Yep. Which though even within this particular place, the face covering rule is still in effect.
Okay.
But as you do try and do a bit of investigation, one of the things you end up noticing is that one of the waitresses is clearly a vampire trying to turn someone, and unfortunately, that's when things go south. Roll a d20.
Well, sucks to be them, I guess.
Oh. They end up rejecting. Oh.
Oh,
The waitress starts getting very agitated about the matter, and that's when hands start getting thrown, and then more hands getting thrown, and one of the patrons who clearly is they're not intoxicated, but it seems like they're mistaking you for somebody else, tries to attack you with a knife.
I'm ready. Take me
Is
now.
this at the tavern?
Yeah.
Ooh. I would like to intervene. See if I can persuade
Alright.
this guy off.
So does a 4 beat your reflex?
Where's reflex? No, I'm 11. Is REF's your reflex, isn't it? No, I'm 11.
Well, they missed and face planted.
Can I shout bar fight?
I don't know, can you?
Dang.
And then, is there a mug near me on the table near me? Because I would
Yes.
like to throw that as I shout bar fight.
Mhm.
Not at anyone, just like randomly. If it hits someone, it hits them. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Oh. Just roll me a straight d20. Fortunately, it missed. Oh. It missed, shattered, and unfortunately, while it did miss, it also destroyed one of the bottles at the bar. So now the person operating the bar is pissed off and looking
I'll be right back, I'm sorry.
looking for a fight. Somebody alerted the guard, and now the town guard has broken in to try and break it up. Which you can stay and watch the fireworks and potentially catch strays, or you can try and find another bar.
You're giving me a lot of choices right now. I have an idea what I want to do, but I will let the party decide.
Because it's clear that things at the Holy Water have gotten a little out of hand.
Don't know what caused it.
Uh-huh.
I guess Herbert's gonna turn to the party and just be like, "It's a bit rowdy in here. Don't think it's our vibe."
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm kind of like leaning towards trying to go towards the door. I'm like, I don't like this place. Kind of stinks in here.
Herbert's gonna. Is that the guy still on the floor that tried to stab me?
Yeah. He's also out
Can I
like
check
a light.
his? Yeah, can I check his pockets?
I mean, you do.
Damn.
You don't find anything of note.
Damn, no vegetables. Can I leave a single clove of garlic in his pocket? And then just head towards the door.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. Oh. as you try and find a different tavern, I need one of you to roll a d6. One of you who isn't Herbert.
Let me see.
I'm a victim if you think about it. I almost got stabbed.
I see. So is it just slash roll 1d6 and that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
So, after trying to find a different tavern, you come across a very large one called the Breaking Point. Any stereotype you can think of a tavern are true here. Boisterous bards, brawls, and endless ale are part of the Breaking Point experience. It is... Oh, it is also... You see a note that it's also famous for the Fire Flagon. A drink that is absolutely free if you can make through 3 flagons of it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm ready.
Say 3 flagons and actually keep it down, but it is called the Fire Flagon for a reason.
I'm ready.
Oh dear. Well, I
As
almost
we
got stabbed. Good luck.
as we enter the tavern, I want to start a bit of gossip with them. What was the last one called? Holy Water, wasn't it? The tavern.
Yep.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, terrible. We've just come from the Holy Water. There's a big bar fight going on there. I don't know what was going on. I've heard this is a better tavern anyway.
Wait, you hear someone go, wait, you went to the you're at the Holy Water and you're now here. What, you can't get it up?
We only went for a bed to rest at, and there was a big brawl going on.
You hear someone laughing at the joke earlier because, you know, you were looking for a bed at a brothel.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Wait, hold up. What I miss? Did we just book a room at a brothel?
I saved us from it, don't worry.
What? Hold up. Someone catch me up to speed. I was in the bathroom.
Oh.
Some people decided to start a bar fight for some reason. I don't know why. And then we had to vacate.
Yeah, some people. Some people.
Some people with a knife that are sleeping right now.
And
I
some
realize,
people
like,
who can't throw a
goodness.
mug.
I go for a bio break and I come back and you set the establishment on fire, basically.
No, look, a bar fight happened.
We're
Someone
making quite
tried
the
to attack
reputation
me.
here.
Someone tried to attack me. A bar fight happened. I left a single clove of garlic in his pocket, my new calling card. And then we're here.
But
So tell me about this fancy drink of yours.
well, it is. You do hear talk that it's a few people have managed to put down 3 flagons without trouble.
Yeah, I'm about to be the next one. Herbert's gonna look around. Be like, I'm ready, guys. Bring me those flagons.
All right. You do hear the bartender going Somebody's trying for the somebody's trying for the 3, and everybody, and you now have everybody's attention.
I'm ready.
Oh,
My moment has come.
but okay. So they break out the first one, and of course you chug it. Oh, roll endurance to see if you can keep it down.
Oh my god, that scared me.
That's one way to get your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Okay, you managed to keep that one down. You do notice that the drink is, it tastes like strong ale, but also tastes spicy.
Interesting.
There's maybe a bit of cinnamon.
Okay. Okay.
So kind of like a mulled wine, almost.
Almost like what would happen if someone took a thing of ale and mixed it with a few fireballs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, all right, you made it through the first one. Now for the second one, as he brings out a second flagon for you. Hopefully you'll last longer than the other guy, he says as he points to one elven man who's on the floor and just out.
Herbert's gonna look over to the elven guy, give a little chuckle, and be like, amateurs. As he takes the second one.
Roll endurance again. All right, that's two down.
I'm afraid to roll on this one.
You've got some of the effect. You're starting to feel a bit of a buzz, but you haven't fully gone in yet. Though you are very much aware that you are playing with fire.
I'm gonna say Micah's joining him and doing this as well. He sees him take these first 2 down, and he's like, you know what? I might as well.
And you hear him shout, "Last one, everybody! Let's see if he breaks." I.e., everybody thinks they can usually handle the first one all right. Second one, oh, yeah, okay. It's the third one where everybody cracks. So roll endurance one more time.
Before I do, I'm gonna do a little prayer to which god is it that gave me the friggin' necklace? I forgot.
No, jeez.
That one. I'm gonna do a little prayer.
It's a good thing you did that prayer because I'm giving you 1 reroll.
It's even worse.
Mulligan.
I'll take it.
You got close. You thought you were gonna spew. You're at that moment where you're on the verge of thinking you're gonna lose your lunch. Like you could feel it bubbling up, but you managed to keep it down to the cheers of everyone else in the bar.
Herbert's just gonna give him a little shrug and be like, "Told you it was easy."
Roll luck. You feel a bit of gas coming up as you belch, and aim straight up. And instead of just belching normal gas, flames are coming out of your mouth.
Oh my. So before he does the whole flame thing, Aurelia's just kind of like, who's never drank before a day in her life, is like, it can't be that bad. And then he does that, and she's just kind of, oh, okay.
It's called the Fire Flagon. What did you expect?
Herbert's gonna just be like better out than in.
But it's clear that everyone in the bar is looking at you looking at you favorably after going through that, because he points to a thing on the wall where the names of the people who've managed to make all three since this tavern has been established is up there. The tavern's been around for about a century. You only see 8 names.
It's about to be 9.
Yeah. Yours would be number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
I can't believe you've done this.
But the last person who did it was a man named Pounch the Fourth, who is still in the bar. He's pointed out as an elderly dragon folk. He used to be the drinking champion when it came to Fire Flagon, but now that's you.
Some would say it's an improvement. I'm just gonna give him a little like nod of approval.
But as the celebrations do go on, you do notice a cloaked figure who brushes against you on your way back to your seat. When he turns towards you all, you can't see their eyes, but you feel a bit of a chill.
No.
Do when he brushed past me, does it feel like he took anything?
No. You do notice on his arm that he has a plain black leather arm guard. The kind of arm guard that would be used by archers, but he doesn't appear to have a bow.
Does he seem friendly or aggressive in any way?
No, he seems neutral.
I guess in that case, Herbert would be like, "Can I help you, sir?"
He look as he does turn towards you. He looks at you and goes, "That depends. Are you a vampire?"
Not last time I checked.
As he turns around, you notice a couple things. One, he is a Hondu. Hondu are canine humanoids, um, essentially dog folk or wolf folk in some
Furries.
cases.
Furries.
He stands about 5 foot tall, and the other thing you notice is that he has parts missing on his fur.
Hmm.
He also has what looks like vampire skulls on his belt.
Oh. I guess Herbert would be like, that's an interesting belt you've got there.
I came to this place because I heard there was a dragonfolk vampire in this area.
Interesting.
That is quite the combo.
Mm-hmm. If you ever run into anyone named Cassio Asak, let me know. There is a price on that person's head.
How will we find you?
If you're hunting a vampire, you'll find me. Or rather, I'll find you.
The train has found Mildred.
Yeah,
Very suspicious.
That was the first time I've ever heard it. All the other times you've mentioned it, it has never come through.
yeah, sorry about the train, folks.
I was like,
It worked
what
well.
train is he talking about?
It worked well with it, though.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
I thought he was about to get on the train and go. Dramatic escape.
Right?
I mean, it's a big town.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly there could be a train around there. Who knows?
Yep.
But as you, on the plus side, because of you being drinking champion, room and board within this tavern is on the house.
Nice.
See the
Nice.
suffering I go through.
We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for the group.
But after the dust settles with your encounter with that fellow, as well as the whole thing of being the drinking champion in this place, I think that's as good a spot as any to do a bit of a break for a few minutes. So we'll be back in 10. So get your drinks, get your snacks, use the monk's room if you need it. We will see you in 10.
Abong ya belo
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And shifting to Scarlet. Since you were looking for something to stave off the thirst, since it is getting close to about a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to. Let me see what you've got. just realized there's an embarrassing typo.
Mhm.
Navigating,
Uh-uh.
not negating. I want you to roll navigating for me.
Okay, let me see.
Oh. Also, I think you don't have 3D dice enabled.
No, I do not.
But
Okay.
yeah, that is a nat 20. Nice. So you are officially speaking. The benefit of a place like White Break is that you can get just about anything if you know where to look. You do ask about, which leads you to somebody, which leads you to somebody, which leads you to somebody who happens to be an alchemist who hands you, because of the fact that you are friends with the drinking champion, hands you a dozen blood capsules.
Hey,
Each of them is about the size of a gemstone. A very small gemstone, like marble sized. Just very red. Just says, take one of these, bite down, drink some water, and you'll be fine. At least as far as the thirst goes. They do taste awful compared to actually drinking blood, but you don't strike me as the type who wants to grab somebody at random to get a drink.
That's the point.
Also, if
Like,
anyone asks, I don't know you, and you don't know me. We never saw each other. We never met.
As fair. I've never been here.
Who are you again?
I'll just leave.
But after dealing with that, do you suppose you guys are going to be heading further north, or do you still have some business to do in White Break?
I'll probably take one of the capsules before I head to the group.
Mhm.
Just to be safe.
Which, yeah, the thing tastes awful. It tastes like it tastes like very strong medicine. Like the kind of thing that you might need a chaser for afterwards just to get the taste out of your mouth.
Guess back to the cat tavern.
I think we should go north, but like I want to try doing a bit of eavesdropping and gossiping as we're like walking. Just trying to get like information, maybe like a better understanding of the kind of area we're in and its surroundings, stuff like that.
Yep. So you do find that when it comes, a lot of the places are relatively isolated by distance, and of course, every place is in the shadow of Dracula. But it's mentioned that if you want to head towards Ice Point, there's two ways to do it. There's the way that requires spending money, which is getting a ride on one of the many ships in White Break, which would take about 4 days, or going on foot, which would take about 3 weeks. It doesn't seem like it would take 3 weeks because of the distance, but because there's a lot of obstacles in that distance, and things like the ash falls, the thunderstorms, the wandering bands of hell spawns. Um,
How
that's why
much
it
would
takes
the? Sorry. How much would the ships be?
30 a person.
30 a person.
Were you trying to click something, Abyss?
I'm trying to remove something.
I can cover it.
Yeah, I was
If
going to say I
someone
can
needs me to
cover it as
cover.
well. I'm just thinking. Obviously, the ships is the fastest way. Is it something where we need to leave like right now, or can we delay it slightly? So I could do, if we can delay it slightly, I can do a bit more networking to try and raise some funds to cover it that way, so we don't have to
That can be
spend
done.
money.
I mean, there's no. You're in the largest port town in Dirk. There's no shortage of ships.
Or we could just walk, but it is quite a long time. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to go by boat?
Are you asking me?
The party.
I would
It
prefer to go
doesn't
by boat.
matter.
Okay, in that case, yeah, can I do a bit of networking to get the silver to cover the cost, and then go by boat?
Yeah. So, let me refresh when it comes to network. Okay. So that is gonna. So I'm gonna have you roll economics before seeing how much silver you end up generating. 23, not too bad. So so this is where you generate the silver that you would. So that's 2d10 plus 20. After being in town for about a week.
2d10, 20.
33 silver.
Okay, I used that, and then it's 30 each, wasn't it? So I'll just I'll cover it with my money then for the other two. I know there's 4 of us, isn't there? I'll cover it for all 4 of us.
I'll cover my part.
You sure? I don't mind. Okay, I'll cover it for three of us then.
All right.
Two. Oh, yeah, there we are.
So unfortunately, it doesn't take long to find a ship that's willing to give you passage. Because well, money talks. And you end up taking the long route around. So going from about here through here until you make it for Iceport. Iceport is not as big as Whitebreak, but it does have the air of old money. Like this definitely has the vibe of a capital city. Uh, However, because of how insular it is from the rest of Dirk and how far removed it is from Whitebreak, it has a bit of an unfavorable reputation. The city itself has a heavily fortified wall, and guards patrol it constantly. As you try and go into the city, you are stopped by the guard as they investigate pretty much all of your goods. And Herbert, there's a certain role I want you to make.
Okay.
If you had some ability to hide things, I'd have you roll for that. But since you don't, you're going to be rolling dexterity, because they're also searching for things like garlic and silver.
No. We gotta fight them, guys. We gotta protect the garlic.
I would like to hide my knife inside of my corset, please.
We have to protect the garlic.
Unfortunately, they did find it. All of it.
Can I at least take one clove to eat before they take it?
No.
No. Don't do this to me.
The guard looks right at you and says, "This was a first-time offense, so I will let you off. But if I catch you with garlic again in the city, you're going straight to jail."
That's not garlic. That's shallots. Yeah, no worries. A poor garlic.
The garlic that they do find is burnt.
Could have used that in a nice soup.
Well, unfortunately, now you can't. But after going through the gates, you end up meeting a elven woman who looks young for her age, even by elven standards. Who introduced herself as Isabel Videnni. I had heard there was a bit of a commotion at the gate, so I wanted to see for myself, and I see some interesting individuals. What is your business in Ice Point?
We're here to see a dear friend of ours.
A dear friend. You've already caused a bit of a stir as is, just by trying to sneak garlic into my city. I'll be watching you all very, very closely. And those of you
Herbert's
who do know magic are able to sense that she is an occultist of significant power. She has a lot more magical power than any of you.
Herbert's gonna brush a tear away from his eye when she says garlic.
But one of the things you do end up noting is when you have some downtime and are able to look at the diary. The claim that E.H. Edgar Hawthorne, real name Nathaniel Hawthorne, what was in Whitebreak was not the case. He's actually in Apaku. So within Ice Point, you very much get the feeling that this is a place that doesn't want people around. On the plus side, as far as where Apaku is, that is a ways. Let me see if I can find where specifically I have it on the map. Well, good news is you know where Apaku is. Bad news is it's all the way down southwest.
Fun. More traveling.
Mm-hmm. Which, yes, the journey to Ice Point was a dead end, technically. But I would say heading back to Whitebreak, the journey there takes about a week, and while in that area, you do end up meeting up with a old friend in Joanna. A woman who introduces herself as Joanna Harker, though she's trying to maintain a low profile, but she recognizes you especially because of the stake thrower that you guys are carrying around.
Fun.
But when you bring up that you're looking for Hawthorne, she does mention that while she doesn't know Hawthorne all that well, he was a powerful noble who became reclusive and moved into Apaku shortly after Dracula's rise to power. but knowing where she says knowing where Apaku is one thing. Getting in there is going to be a tricky thing because Apaku is on the back of a giant turtle.
Hmm.
But it is a lengthy route to get there, but there are ways to get there. It just means having to go into Bishal and thus going across the Blood Plains.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
No. It rarely is. But I do wish you the best of luck. I have to make my leave. And as you do study the map that you have, you do see that there is a route. One that would go. You can go while there are the roads. Following the road would take you straight to Cass and into Lorvan, which is a dead end for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But after getting to the mountains, you can continue going westward into Bishal.
Mm.
It is certainly possible. Or if you want to stick to a safe route, you could take a ship to Shatterkeel Bay in Nord, and then from there go southward through Bethel until you reach Candif. Either way, it's going to be a long journey. So which route do you think you want to take?
And how much would the ship be?
30 each, once again.
I can cover that.
Just make sure you're packing some heavier clothing because you are going to be heading much further north.
No. Grandfather.
Sorry, baby aggro. Would y'all rather take the ship and play it safe, or save money and go the riskier and longer distance?
How much longer would it take if we didn't take the ship?
It's still gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be several weeks, no matter which route you take.
I think we can risk it a bit. It's not too much trouble.
I can more than
Shoot.
afford it. So
It's up to you. I don't mind a bit of risk at the moment.
I'll be right back. I gotta run to the restroom. I'm so sorry.
Where's... That's one vote for the ship and going to Nord, and one vote for taking the direct route.
Seems like it's like the same, isn't it?
More or less.
I do like saving, so I might wanna hold back on spending more money.
That's what I was thinking too. Save a bit now and then, because we don't know what we're going to come across in
Yeah.
the future.
Which that is fair. So after it sounds like you guys are going to be heading straight westward, taking the road where you can, and then going off the beaten path. That does take about 2 weeks to get to right about here. Meaning you guys are in Bishal. And once you're out of Dirk, you start feeling sunlight again. Although it's brief sunlight and large amounts of overcast.
Okay.
As opposed to the heavy fog and heavier overcast you saw when you were in Dirk. A bit unnaturally foggy. But Bishal is a large amount of vast, flat plains, going from one horizon to the other. One that is that those of you who are more savvy know that this for the longest time had been the domain of the Horse Lords. And while they certainly stick to this area, they are far from united. the different horse lords are basically run their own clans, and old grudges run deep in Bishal. But I need one of you to roll a d6.
I just got back. Sorry. What happened?
Oh, it was decided to head eastward towards Bishal in
Okay.
order to get to Apaku.
Are you taking a ship or no?
No.
ship.
Okay.
Oh, but as you head closer in and go across the river, a driving rain begins to hit, and this rain is going to be continuing for a while. It'll be for a while, but on the plus side, it's only 3 hours. So I need you to make a luck check.
All of us?
Yes.
One was for me and one was for Micah, so that's why there's two. I thought it would show up under his name, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm. But it's fortunate that you got an 11 and 13. Otherwise, there would be issues. Oh. And to make this rain even worse, you hear thunder.
No.
And then off in the distance, a lightning bolt strikes the ground, causing a fire that's quickly drowned out.
I really is going to keep an eye on the sky, because this is looking really familiar to that one other time.
Mm-hmm.
And she just wants to see if it's a repeating thing.
We're near Cass right now, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Because that's similar area to where it was before, wasn't it? Well, not completely similar, but
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. And as you continue onward, I need another d6 roll. So you find a odd-looking castle that seems to shimmer like a mirage. But when you approach it, it doesn't disappear like a normal mirage would. And as you cross into this, it feels like you've stepped into a place that isn't where you were. And see if I... No. You find yourself in a place that is in perpetual night. It looks like wilderness, but it doesn't look like a place you recognize.
That's interesting. Mm. Can I possibly roll for astrology and figure out if there's anything to this?
Go ahead.
Maybe astrology or astronomy? Astronomy, right?
Mm-hmm. Alright, you roll let's say 25. The one thing you do notice is instead of the multiple moons that you're used to, there's only one. It's not one that's enough that's in a phase where it would trigger Herbert's transformation.
It's good to know.
Weird.
But just as you're trying to get used to this place, you end up right back in the planes that you were beforehand. As if what you saw was some illusion you ventured into for a moment. But what's odd is that the places where the light isn't touched, you can still see what looks like a stone fortification, which is odd because there are no stone fortifications in Bishal.
Yeah.
But eventually, you do manage to make your way to the closest thing to a proper settlement in Bishal, that being the river flow. The place where the two major rivers that come out of the chasm meet. An old encampment that has been used for generations by horse lords. And it is considered, even if the horse lords don't always get along, this place is neutral territory. Like this is the one place where everybody agrees, no fighting here. But
close to where I live as well.
Now, when it comes to the current situation with the place, you can investigate with either awareness or intellect.
I'll do some awareness. Would I already have like a bit of an understanding though, so being like
Is there a
from
specific
nearby?
skill that would be good, or?
It's just a straight awareness or intellect check.
Okay, I just want to double check.
Oof.
Big oof.
So, you know that the 8 horse lords are Mujan, Tilian, Udir, Kanshing, Bolkadir, Sunzan, Iltani, and Tartu. Each lord has their tribe as their own namesake. In the northwest is Mujan Ger. In the middle of the western edge is Tilan Ger, extending beyond the river flow. Old Deer Ger is in the southwest, below the rivers. From north to south, Kalching Ger, Bokdar Ger, and Sunzan Ger make the middle, with Iltani in the northeast corner. Essentially, each of the horse lords have their own particular part of Bishal that is their territory. Roll again.
For awareness?
Mm-hmm.
Or intellect? One of the two.
Yep. Okay, that's better. Technically.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Herbert, you gonna roll?
I did. Got 11. You're not showing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
So
re-roll then.
Yep. So what you have found out is there are large disputes between Tilan and Bolkaldar, Tilan and Kanching and Utali, and Bokdar and Sonzar. The Kanching, Mujan, and Uldir clans are the strongest since Dracula came to power. If Tilan's not in country, Tilan Ger barely has any influence. And Sonzan is on the outs with Dracula for reasons no one wants to talk about. But as you do your own digging about within the town of the river flow, a woman in midnight blue robes approaches you and simply states, "I'd like you to come with me. I can assist you, as it was written in the cards."
She plays Yu-Gi-Oh too. Herbert will kind of look to the rest of the group because he's not really that well with magic and astrology and stuff. He's kind of looking for what they want to do.
I'm gonna trust her. She seems legit.
Might as well.
But one of the things that she notes is I can tell by the lingering effects that you've been to a place not here. Come with me. She leads you into a tent that's clearly her own, and it's a tent that very much looks like what you'd expect the stereotype of a fortune teller's tent to look like.
Yeah. Sorry, I got ganked IRL.
Oh. But that if you will help me free my world, then I will help you in this world.
Sounds reasonable.
Then allow me a moment to introduce myself. My name is Morgana. And that is where we're going to wrap it up for now. Yes, I'm
Okay.
going to be leaving it on a cliffhanger.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it
Don't
gives
even
us a
get to-
chance to get all the other people in here too, so they don't miss important stuff.
That's
so-
fair.
Oh yeah.
Don't even get to introduce ourselves.
Well, then you know how those dramatic reveals in shows work. You get that
Next
big
time.
reveal, and then to be continued, and then roundabout plays.
Plus, pregnancy exhaustion has kind of like come and kicked me in the ass, so.
I am flexible. Maybe not as a contortion. I wouldn't be a contortionist, but I can still be flexible.
I don't mind leaving on a cliffhanger right now, because the time is calling my name.
But we will be back here next week at the usual time, of course, and I believe by then we will have the newcomers in. So keep an eye out for that.
Good.
But until
Fresh
then,
meat.
on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody. Froxy, what am I saying? Bye.
I said Frogsy, guys. Get to
Let's
riveting.
go.